Well, I have a master's in psychology, so I entered through psychology rather than education, as many people in assistive technology did. When I first started with the public school district, which was the Houston Independent School District, I was doing psychoeducational testing, and we tested kids to see if they qualified to be in special education.
I hear you moved to Region 4.
Region 4 Education Service Center is one of the 20 education service centers in the state of Texas. And Region 4 is quite unusual because it serves almost a quarter of all the school-age kids in the state of Texas. And I was working there with assessment issues, which is really evaluation, again, testing the kids for special education, providing some contract testing and professional development.
After that first experience at Region 4, you moved on to Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District. What about that?
Yes, that's a large suburban school district in the Houston area. And I was there for 5 years and working again as a school psychologist, which they called us in those days, about that time they began to have a certification for an educational diagnostician. And that was the type of role I was in. And at that time I also worked at the separate campus. Kids with severe disabilities were often not included in the regular classroom. And I was the diagnostician there at that campus. And they were very forward in looking at technology, and there were a lot of adaptive firmware cards and switches and that type of thing there in the 1985 to 1990 that I worked there. So I had gone to a training at Region 4 prior to coming to Cyfair. We call it Cyfair for short, and got very interested in the assistive technology. And then when I was the one at the separate campus to do all the work and consulting with the kids with the more severe disabilities, got interested in the technology that was there. And one day came in and said that the director of special ed wanted me to go to Closing the Gap conference. And that was a big deal. So I went for the first time to Closing the Gap. I took my own little mini recorder because I was so intent on learning things, and went into the workshop, the full day workshop on the adaptive firmware card. I took my recorder to record it all so I wouldn't forget the things I'd been taught. And I came back to the school district, and they'd been asking me why the adaptive firmware card wasn't working. And I came back and said, guys, there's a battery in there. We've got to change the battery. So we were working with the kids, and at that time there weren't all the special toys, there weren't the special switches. We were making our own switches, doing battery adapters for the toys, working with the kids so that they could learn cause and effect, because many of them, as I said, had the severe to profound disabilities. So it was a very interesting time.